Thanks to all the wonderful Aptera investors, my fellow Aptera reservation holders, and our Aptera Curious friends for tuning in again. In this video, I'm going to recap week 45 of Aptera's Accelerator Program, which ran from December 1st to December 7th. My numbers are based on the December 8th, 9:08 a.m. update. Nothing I say in this video should be considered investment advice. I'm not an accountant or a financial advisor. Please do your own research before investing, and investing, especially in a pre-production startup company, is very risky. Aptera is still looking for a large-scale investment for an institutional investor or a significant grant to start full-scale production, but it does seem that Aptera is about ready to start making production-intent vehicles to test. Aptera's total raise from crowdfunding is now just over $27.3 million between the Republic app and the Accelerator program. That is almost a $2 million boost from last week. Republic reports a total raised of $1,562,788, which is an increase from last week of $5,229. Republic added 7 new investors to reach a total of 1,393. The Accelerator program had an amazing week 45. This was probably due in part to their new promotion that allows you to take $1,000 off the price of the vehicle if you invest $2,000 or more. We don't know how long this promotion will last, but Aptera saw investments totaling $1,906,989 last week. This makes week 45 the second best week for the Accelerator program, even beating week 1 by about $70,000. Aptera's Accelerator program has now passed $25 million raised and is heading to $30 million, as the total invested is now almost $25.76 million. Week 45 saw activity in almost every week. I will highlight some of the biggest changes, but it took 3 charts to show all the data, and you can pause the video to look more closely at any week, as I will talk about weeks that are not up at the same time. Week 45 would have been significant on its own, which raised almost $420,000, most likely spurred by Aptera's new incentive for people who invested $2,000 or more, but the biggest impact was made by a week 43 investor, which raised just over $1 million. Week 44 was also pretty strong, raising another $78,000, but was only the 4th biggest week. Again, week 1 investors continued to step up, taking 3rd place with over $84,000 added. From there, we dropped to about $41,000 from week 5 investors, and the numbers trickled down to about $2,000 in the rest of the weeks. But 12 of the weeks also made the board due to losses. Most of the weeks did not have significant losses, as most were less than $300. But week 13 saw a significant loss of almost $20,000, which made up the bulk of the loss of the $21,693 this week. Week 45 was also a great week for adding new investors to the program. With amazing 55 investors added this week, it is the 9th best week of the program for adding new investors. The bulk of the investors were added in the last 2 weeks, which lends credibility to the new incentive driving new investments. Week 44 added 7 investors, which is normally very strong, but it was dwarfed by week 45, which added 38 investors of its own. Week 43 only added 1 new investor, who we will talk about in the leaderboards, and to be expected, week 13 lost 1 investor, which explains a $20,000 loss that week. The rest of the investors were added, with 2 in week 20 and 1 each for weeks 1, 3, 5, 12, 32, 39, 40, and 42. This means week 45 brings the total number of investors to 1,589, leaving 411 vehicle spots, but there are already less than 400 vehicle spots left by the time you see this video. Like last week, new investors dominated again. Aptera added only 17 prior investors for a total of 836, and 38 new investors were added for a new total of 754. With a large influx of new investors have now invested 52% of the money raised by the Accelerator program. Prior investors have invested about $12.4 million compared to new investors at $13.38 million. Week 45's average investment was in line with most weeks, hitting $11,029.70, but week 43 got a huge boost from the new investor to put it back in 2nd place for the largest average a week. This also increased the total average by a whopping $661.98 to reach a new total of $16,209.40, even with the large number of investors added. For the fourth week in a row, we see action in the top 15 Accelerator investors. We have a new investor, CD from Michigan, who is the week 43 investor that was responsible for the largest gain this week. CD takes the top spot in the Accelerator investor list with an investment of $997,500. Two investors, RK from Florida and BW from Indiana, reduced their investments by $45 to make a five-way tie at $105,000. CD from Michigan also made a big splash on the Vehicle Leaderboards, debuting at number 4. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, like and share to help our channel grow. And below you'll find links to our website, Evolv-Electric.org, our Twitter and Instagram